Hola, ¿qué tal? Bienvenidos, mi nombre es Cristo y esto es Postres y Compas, un canal donde invito a un compa a preparar un postre conmigo. En esta ocasión tenemos a Dave. Bueno, vamos a hacer una edición de este programa especial porque Dave no habla español, entonces va a ser en inglés. So I was telling them that you're Dave and you're my friend, and I'm a godfather to your son.
Of course.
Since June. And I've known you for the past, I don't know, 18 years probably, because it was 2005.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
It's been quite a while.
Yeah. So I met Dave because he's married to one of my best friends, and I met him when I was like 25. I'm born in 1980, so.
I would have been 25 too.
Yeah.
I would have been about 25.
Yeah,
time,
exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. And he was working for the Navy. You were in the Navy, right? Or you just came back or something?
Yeah, I was in the Navy. I was in the Navy until 2007. So in 2005, when you met me, I still would have been in the Navy.
Yeah, exactly. So he was in the Navy and he was all over the place. I heard of you that you were in Japan. You were in Thailand, I'm gonna say.
No, I never made it to Thailand, but I actually went to Malaysia.
Okay, Malaysia. Okay.
Yeah.
So you were stationed there for a couple of years.
No, so basically I was on an aircraft carrier for about 5 years out of San Diego, California.
All right.
3 years San Diego, 2 years up in Washington State.
Okay.
And during that period of time, I did 2 deployments, 1 full deployment, 1 partial, because the last one I did, I got out. So the first one that I did, we did a whole cruise where we went to Canada. We went to Hawaii like 3 times. Man, that was a lot of times. And then we went to.
You're the only one who complains about going to Hawaii.
No,
yeah.
No. See, when you go to the Navy in Hawaii, it's a little different. It's not like oh, I'm gonna get on a plane and I'm gonna get off and then they're gonna give me a lay at the airport. No.
Yeah.
It's like you pull into port and then they say, oh, guess what? You've got watch. So congratulations, you got to be out in the hot sun on a flight deck, standing around with an M16 in your hand, watching the flight deck for potential threats. When all you're really doing is just hiding in the shade of a plane.
Yeah.
Trying not to burn yourself.
Trying to scorch. Yeah.
Trying not to scorch to death. So it's not the Hawaii that you guys see when you get to go. It's not that.
Yeah, it's not Hawaii 5-0.
No. It's more like Pearl Harbor, which it literally is because that's where we pull in.
All right.
Yeah.
So he was stationed there. Then in 2007 you came back and you started work. Well, you went back to school, right?
Yes. So 2007, I took a brief period of time where I was working a job between them. But 2008, I went back to school to get my bachelor's in finance, which I finished in 2012.
Yeah, exactly. And then in 2012, I'm guessing 2012 you married Sandra.
No, 2010. So I married Sandra. Sandra 2 years before I graduated college.
Okay.
So in 2010, I was living in San Diego. We were about to get married. So packed up my house, moved up to Los Angeles where she was working at the Mexican consulate. Where she worked for like several years, and I graduated in 2012 from Cal State Northridge, and then next thing you know, 11 years later, we're still in Los Angeles, and now we own a home.
Exactly.
I was like, we're gonna go back to San Diego. Like once you've done the time in the consulate, we'll find something. You can start a career in San Diego, and we'll be in San Diego. And then one thing after the other happened, and the next thing you know, we had 2 kids and a house and a dog.
And in northern LA, right?
In northern LA, like
the furthest from San Diego possible.
The furthest spot
in
LA, but still being in LA that we could get away from San Diego. So unfortunately, if I keep pushing it, I'm probably going to end up in like Ventura County or San Francisco by accident.
Yeah, I don't know how probably you're closer to San Francisco than to San Diego.
No, actually, no.
To going to San Francisco, not.
Yeah. I was like, that's still another 5 hours there.
No, not in distance, but you're closer to being in San Francisco and San Diego. So okay, so there's this funny situation about the dessert that we're preparing today, because when I told Sandra and Dave that if they wanted to join me and make a video, Sandra replied first and she told me, okay, Dave's going there, but there's only one condition. that you have to bake the Starbucks pumpkin scone. Can you tell us why?
So Starbucks, in their ignorance, have decided that they wanted to cancel the pumpkin scone, and my wife is a super fan of their pumpkin scone. So what happened is she had asked me to go to Starbucks one night because she knew that it was getting about the time of the year when they were going to start putting that on their menu. I went there. I saw that they had released some of their fall stuff, so I went and I asked the girl at Starbucks, hey, what's going on? Do you guys have pumpkin scones? And she said, while I was on the phone to my wife, asking her if she wanted something from Starbucks, she goes, I'm sorry, but they discontinued the pumpkin scone.
Yeah.
Well, anyway.
Causing outrage.
Yes, causing a major outrage. Yeah.
Housewives.
I'm amazed that there wasn't like a riot in West LA. I'm amazed Beverly Hills was not burned down over pumpkin scones. So yeah, they got lucky on that one.
That's 2023 is gonna be remembered by that. For that, the outrage caused by the lack of pumpkin scones in Starbucks.
Yes, the Bucci Housewives riot.
Yeah, exactly.
2023.
So let's do it.
All right, let's go.
The recipe for the pumpkin scone, for Starbucks pumpkin scone, can be divided into three: the scone, the glaze, and
the icing.
The icing, the pumpkin icing, exactly. So the ingredients that we need to make the scones are
2 1/4 cups all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon baking soda, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/4 teaspoon ground ginger, 1/8 of a teaspoon ground cloves, 1/4 of a cup packed light brown sugar, 3 tablespoons granulated sugar, 1/2 cup unsalted butter, cold and diced into 1/2 inch pieces, 1/2 cup plus 1 tablespoon canned pumpkin puree, chilled, 3 1/2 tablespoons buttermilk, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon vanilla extract, 1 tablespoon of honey, and 1 tablespoon half and half. The ingredients we need to make the glaze are 1 cup powdered sugar, 2 tablespoons half and half, then more is needed. The ingredients we need to make the icing are 3/4 cup powdered sugar, 1 tablespoon pumpkin puree, 1/4 teaspoon ground cinnamon, 1/8 of a teaspoon ground nutmeg, 1/8 of a teaspoon ground ginger, 1 tablespoon half and half.
So, did you memorize the recipe?
No. No. In one ear, out the other.
Anyway.
Completely.
So, the recipe calls for a food processor, which we don't have, but we have the next best thing, which is this mixer. So, first, the dry ingredients, we have to pour them over.
All right.
And we'll start, just like that.
Yeah. Get the flour in here.
The flour in there. Then, hold on, let me get
Almost got it out.
exactly.
There we go.
Nice. Then the baking soda, baking powder, and salt. Cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, and
It smells good.
And something else, I don't remember.
Cinnamon, nutmeg. Was it cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves?
Ginger, exactly.
Yes, ginger.
And brown sugar and granulated sugar.
Alright.
Then once all these ingredients are in, we'll just start and just mix everything for a little while. Yes.
Alright. Get it nice and mixed in there.
Yeah. Then, this is the tricky part. We have to add the butter.
Okay.
the butter has to be cut into pieces. It's like a half an inch in half-inch pieces, and then what we have to do is we have to mix it a couple of times, but not too much, just to incorporate the butter into the dry ingredients.
Yeah, so it has little chunks, like
exactly,
like when you're doing like a croissant or something.
Exactly.
So in case there's pockets, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's a couple here, a couple there. The butter has to be cold.
It's gonna create those nice little pockets inside of the, keep it nice and fluffy.
Yeah. And you know what all the recipe goes like this? The biscuit recipe.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is, the scones are pretty much like interesting thing when we were in. I've never had a savory scone before, so like savory scones are biscuits. Like I'm from the south. In the south, we eat biscuits all the time.
Yeah.
But it was funny. We were actually when we came back from Italy from the trip, we had a layover in Ireland, and at the hotel we were at, they were serving savory scones. They had them at the coffee bar, and I got one, and yeah, it tasted just like a biscuit. So
that's pretty much good.
So I mean, I grew up with scones, just we don't call them that.
Yeah, you guys call it biscuits.
Yeah, exactly, and they call biscuits cookies, biscuits.
Cookies are biscuit in England. Yeah.
They confuse me.
But I mean, most of the butter is already incorporated in pieces like that. Yeah.
You may have to live with a few of those big pieces because I don't think you want to break the other ones down even smaller, do you? Yeah. It just means there'll be a big pocket when you start making your dough.
It doesn't really matter because we're gonna net it by hand. So, all right. So this is the food processor part is done. Right. In another bowl, we're going to add the puree, the pumpkin puree, with the egg,
all right,
the vanilla, the buttermilk, which, well, I mean, in the US they sell buttermilk like in a can or whatever. In Mexico they don't. So what we do is
milk and sour cream,
milk and lemon.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot. Yeah, that's how you make it. That's how you give it that sourness.
Yeah, and the honey. This recipe has so many ingredients. There's no wonder why
Starbucks discontinued. That would explain it, right?
Starbucks discontinued.
The workers were just like, screw that, we're not making it anymore.
No, man. How much are you charging for each scone?
Not worth it.
Not worth it. So just in the bowl, we're just gonna stir them, stir all the ingredients, and just mix them up. And as you can see, there's not much science into it. And then once all the ingredients are mixed together, the next step is
add in the dry.
Exactly. We're going to add in the dry. And then with a wooden spoon, we're going to mix them up.
Okay. Get in here. It's kind of like, so one of the things we do for Christmas every year is we make shortbread cookies.
Nice.
It's kind of similar, this process.
Yeah.
You know, a little bit different
on the ingredient side.
But yeah, you gotta chunk the butter up. Actually, for those, I take the cold butter, and it wants you to have it soft because it doesn't need to be in little chunks inside. It needs to incorporate but not be melted. And so to make it soft, I actually have to run it through a cheese grater.
Oh.
So that's how I make it soft. Yeah, just grate the butter like you would cheese.
Or you could also just let it
You
on the
could.
counter.
You could let it soften.
Yeah,
But when you're in a
exactly. Let it
rush,
soften in the counter.
but when you're in a
for
rush
a
and
couple hours.
and you got your 5-year-old helping you cook, and she's like, "Daddy, why do we have to wait so long?" It's like, let's just shred it. It's pretty good, right?
So yeah, that's good. I mean, look what Dave did. It's all Dave. Then this, with this mixture, what we're going to do is we're going to put some flour on the working table, and then we're going just so it doesn't so the mix doesn't stick into it with the table, and then we're going to knead it over here.
All right.
So we're gonna get.
Should probably get some flour on my hands.
Yeah.
Where's the flour?
Oh, there it is.
Ah.
Yeah.
Get some right here.
And that's how you know that you cook, because you already know that you need some flour in your hands so they don't stick.
We actually make pizza at home a lot, and so
Oh, really?
yeah. So you already kind of know.
Sure. Yeah, no, go ahead. Start.
All right. Oof. This is really sticky. Holy smokes.
Here.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna need some more here. I mean, me personally, I learned how to bake at 7, and it was kind of out of necessity. I don't know if you've ever heard of the term latchkey kid.
Yeah.
So I mean, obviously, I'm a Gen X
Yeah,
latchkey kid.
because your parents worked and
Both of them were, yeah. And so basically, the person who took care of me was my older brother, who was only 6 years older than me.
Yeah.
And he really didn't care to feed me at all. So I mean, if I wanted to eat, I had to learn how to cook my own stuff for the most part. So what happened is that I wanted brownies one time, and my mom had this cookbook, McCall's cookbook. And so what I did was I actually got the recipe, found all the ingredients, put them together, got the oven to the right temperature as the recipe called for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then basically I just mixed it all together, put it in the oven, baked it, and then of course my brother, you know, even though he didn't help me with any of it, he obviously ate some of it.
Yeah, exactly.
And then my mom got home and she smelled fresh brownies, and she came and she asked my brother, she's like, "Did you bake brownies?" And my brother Bobby goes, "No, it was Dave." And she's like, "Wait a minute, he's 7 years old. Why is he using the stove?" And he's like, "Well,
in the oven."
Yeah, he's like, "Why are you using the oven? And why is he making brownies?" And he said, "Look, Mom, just try them. Just try them, okay?" And she tried them, and then after that, she let me use the oven and never questioned.
Nice.
She's like, "Okay, they're good," and he did it right, so I guess we're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is pretty much 8 inches.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say.
What do you say? Like a foot is about that, so yeah, that's about 8 inches.
Yeah.
Right there.
So once we have the dough in an 8-inch circle-ish, 8 inches, 8 inches circle-ish, what we have to do is cut it in 8, in 8 parts. So there's 2, there's 4. 6.
I can already see them becoming scones.
Yeah. And 8.
All right.
So we just put them on a tray with paper on it, so it doesn't, so they don't stick or burn. And this is it. That's pretty much.
And that's just the glaze, huh?
And now just the glaze. Well, first of all, we have to put the half and half.
Yeah, because you need them to brown, right?
Yeah, we have to brown them up. this is the first part of the glazing for, well, this is not even the glazing, it's just for color and consistency.
Just the top or the sides too?
I'm gonna leave it up to you. You have to make an executive decision here.
Sides.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
And this is just for us, I mean.
I'm not selling these yet.
Exactly, yet, that's the word.
The website goes up next week.
And then after just pouring the half and half on the scones.
Oh yeah.
They go into the oven for about 13 to 15 minutes. The oven has to be at 425 Fahrenheit or 215 Celsius. "15 minutes have gone by, actually 13, and the scones are done. I mean, we stuck a knife in the center and it came out clean. So we're just gonna take them out and look at this. Yeah.
Yeah, they gotta be good.
Then we're gonna turn off the oven and then let them cool. In the meanwhile, we're going to do the glazing and pumpkin. It was like a glaze, not a pumpkin glaze. I don't know. So for the glaze, we're just gonna mix the powdered sugar with the half and half.
Okay.
With the fork. Oh, can you put it over, please? Thank you. And say this is turning into a glaze. We're gonna mix in a bowl. The puree, more powdered sugar, cinnamon, nutmeg, and ginger. And the half and half. And could you please mix it up?
All right.
We're gonna make our scones.
All right.
So grab one.
All right.
Whichever you want. This one. Then just pour some glaze on it. I'm pretty sure you cannot do this at Starbucks.
No.
I wanna go and guess.
No, they're not gonna let you do that. And you gotta get that little zigzag with the pumpkin.
Oh, you're gonna try to do that?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Let me see if I can get a zigzag with it. Probably not.
You're gonna be artsy.
Kind of.
I mean,
kind of.
the lines are there.
No, these might need to cool down a little bit more. It's looking more like a Cinnabon right now.
Yeah. Well, let's try them out.
Alright, let's go.
So, cheers.
Cheers.
It was a pleasure.
Alright, always worth it.
They're good.
I
I don't know.
Especially cinnamon.
I've never tried them at Starbucks, but these are good.
These are pretty good, yeah. There's a little bit more crumbly, but I like this because it has more like the biscuit consistency I was telling you about. I think that's better.
They're good.
Get that out.
I can see why the housewives of LA are raging in Beverly Hills about Starbucks discontinuing these scones.
We'll definitely have to figure out something to do to make sure that they don't riot and burn more of the city down than what's necessary.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna quit my job. I'm gonna go to LA and start baking this and making really huge batches and selling them on the street.
Yeah, definitely. We'll have to rip off the Starbucks logo. We'll make a bootleg Starbucks and sell the stuff that they stopped selling anymore.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I just want to thank you for all the years that I've known you, for coming to visit me in Mexico City, here in TJ. Well, we've seen each other in LA too, in San Diego, for a trip to Italy this summer, for choosing me to be your son's godfather, and for all the future endeavors that we're gonna have. So
definitely.
Thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you very much,
man.
Dave. And it was a pleasure, and this is amazing. So thank you all for watching. Gracias por haberse quedado. No sé si se quedaron, bueno, son cosas de la vida, son compas en todo. Entonces, muchísimas gracias por seguirnos. Denos like en el canal y suscríbanse. Y muchísimas gracias a todos. Esto fue Postres y Compas.